Alright my friends, welcome back to my AKUMU Difficulty walkthrough for The Evil Within. This is the second part of chapter number 10, which is called The Craftsman's Tools. And in this segment we are going to have two boss battles. Our first opponent will be Laura, and I'm going to show you how to obtain the Bathed in Flames trophy. And it's perfectly possible to obtain this trophy on AKUMU Difficulty, even though if you've already obtained it you really don't need to do this. And yes, it is easier to do it on the easier difficulties, but you can still defeat Laura on AKUMU difficulty without having to waste a lot of ammunition. And really the main difference between AKUMU and the other difficulties here is the fact that there will be a lot of bear traps on the ground, and as you know, if Sebastian gets hit even once, he will die. So that's what will make this fight a little bit more challenging. I always like to punch her when she comes inside this area. I don't know if those punches actually count towards the damage that you have to do to her, but I still do it nonetheless, and it's better than to just sit there and wait. So we're just going to go through here. I'm not going to pick up that green gel bottle since there's a high chance that she might grab me. Excuse me, sir. Do you have some time to talk about our Lord and Savior Gojira? No, I do not. So let's just keep her out of here and move on. And this is where the actual fight starts. So I don't need any matches, but there's a few there if you want to pick them up. So why do you need to beat Laura? Well, the only real reason why you need to defeat Laura is if you want to obtain an extra key. Aside from that, and if you want to obtain the trophy of course, but aside from those reasons there's really no benefit to defeating Laura. Yes, you gain a little bit of green gel after you defeat her. But like I said, since this is a complete walkthrough and I want to show the location of all the keys and so on, and I must defeat her, and this is where the fight actually starts. We're going to pick up these shotgun shells. She doesn't follow us as we step inside this room, but be very careful because there's a bear trap here. So make sure you disarm that, because remember, in AKUMU difficulty, if Sebastian gets caught in that bear trap, he will die. Once you pull that lever, she comes out. I'm going to give a few handgun shots here, and now I want her to follow me, and I'm going to try and use that time bomb on the wall there. There we go, that worked. And now we're going to use the first fire trap. And I'm going to shoot her here once with the sniper rifle to deal a little bit of extra damage. I do believe that you need to do a little bit of extra damage with your guns, even if you use all of the fire traps. And what we're going to do, after you deliver a certain amount of damage to Laura in this first area, or actually in the first two areas, she will disappear, and then when you head into the final zone, she will need less damage to die. Make sure you disarm that trap as well, because you don't want to get caught. And now we're just going to play around in circles here with her a little bit. Make sure you pick up that sniper rifle bullet. And now time to use the other trap, and while she's burning we're going to disarm this bear trap right here. It's very easy to get caught on that one, so we do need to be careful there. And now what I'm going to do is try and use this second fire trap. She's well positioned, so let's use it here. There we go, she's burning again. So she's taken a lot of damage already by now. While she's burning, I recommend that you try and shoot her a few times, either with your shotgun, sniper rifle. It works really well. And now what we're going to do here is keep hitting her until she disappears. And when she disappears, that means that we've dealt enough damage and that she's already weakened. So we're just going to keep running around in circles. Come on, Laura, follow me. I actually missed that shot, but I hit that second one. It's not a big deal, because if you manage to defeat her, you'll gain a lot of sniper rifle bullets, and I actually missed 2 shots now. But like I said, she should be dying soon, or actually she should be disappearing soon enough. Don't be afraid to use the explosive bolts. There's actually an explosive bolt for you to pick up here in this area. You can actually wait for her to jump, because it takes her a while to recover after she does that lunge attack, and that's the perfect opportunity for you to use explosive bolts and take her down. I've dealt enough damage and that's why she disappeared. Unfortunately, we do have to wait here a little bit for this fire to disappear, but you see, you might not have enough time to disarm the bear trap and push that lever, so that's why I disarmed the bear trap and then I focused my attacks on Laura again, because sometimes she might get too close to you while you're still pulling the lever, and obviously if she grabs you, you will die. So there's an explosive bolt there, pick it up, and we really won't need any more explosive bolts now. So we're pretty good at this point. As you step inside this area, immediately disarm the bear trap that's right here on the ground. You don't want any bear traps standing in your way, and you'll still have plenty of time to shoot that time bomb, dealing a little bit more extra damage to Laura. Now this is the tricky part. We're going to use the bodies to burn Laura, but we need to get her close to them. So what we're going to do here is make sure that she's close to the body. Ideally, you should stay close to the body, wait for her to lunge at you, and while she's recovering from the lunge attack, you can burn the body and that will burn her as well, but this works just as well. And now immediately move towards this body. She will automatically appear next to this body. Throw the match as she comes out, burn her. And now lastly approach this body and wait here, but do be careful because there's a bear trap next to that body and it's very easy to miss it. But make sure you burn her. And while she's burning here, shoot her twice or once with your sniper rifle. Depending on the power of your sniper rifle, you might have to shoot her either just once or twice, but it works. And if you do that, she will disappear, and that means that you've dealt the maximum amount of damage that you could deal in this area. So now if we use all the fire traps in the floor below and shoot her a couple of times, then she should be pretty much done for. Be careful because there's a bear trap right behind me, here on the ground to my side. Burn her as she comes out of that body, and immediately burn her again as she comes out from this body. There's a bear trap here, be careful. I'm going to disarm it, and you don't want to run against the bear trap, that's incredibly frustrating. Disarm this bear trap here while she's burning, there we go. Now there's another bear trap here, disarm it as well. And now we're going to try and use that fire trap to get her. Just keep dodging her and make sure you try and lure her to this area, because if you do, then she will be burnt again, and at this point she must be very close to dying by now. So there we go. I'm going to shoot her just a couple of times here, make sure I do a little bit of extra damage. And now there's still one more fire trap that we're going to try and use here. Wait for her to turn around. I actually need to make sure she's directly underneath it, because you don't want to waste any fire traps. It's not a big deal if you miss one or two, but that means that you'll have to waste more ammunition, and you don't want that. So let's try and hit the lever now. There we go, and Laura's burned and she's dead, and as you can see, that's that. So really the main difference between AKUMU difficulty and the other difficulties is the fact that the bear traps really can be very annoying, and you do need to be very careful around them. But in terms of health, I think Laura's health is precisely the same. This is the other bear trap that I was talking about. Make sure you disarm that, guys. Like I said, it can be incredibly frustrating to be very close to defeating Laura and then be caught in a bear trap and dying. That happened to me, that's why I'm saying that. And also I would make sure that the time bomb that's on that wall, you should shoot at it and make it explode, because unless you're feeling super confident, I wouldn't risk trying to disarm that time bomb on the wall, because if you mess up for some reason you'll die, and that can be annoying after you've just defeated Laura. But as you can see, that's how you defeat her, and I think this method works pretty well. Yes, you might have to try a few times. It took me a while to get this method to work perfectly, but I tried it a couple of times and it worked both times. And that way we don't have to worry about Laura, and we can collect that last key and all that ammunition and green gel. So a pretty decent reward, I guess, for defeating her.
Who do you think you are? I know who you are. Seb. I know what you crave, what you fear. Will you be able to live with yourself knowing what I'm gonna make you do? Poor little Joseph couldn't. Too bad they dragged you into this. But either way, you're mine. To do with as I please.
Oh well, poor Sebastian can't really catch a break, that's for sure, and I bet Ruvik's kind of pissed that we essentially killed his sister. But that's how it is, and it's really his own fault, really. Because he was the one, well actually it was Jimenez who brought us into this world. It's actually his fault, but nonetheless, poor Sebastian, he really can't catch a break. And right after we defeat Laura, we have another boss fight. I tell you, Chapter 10, in my opinion, can really be the most problematic chapter of all. But remember guys, that unless you're looking to obtain that trophy or you actually want to pick up that key, there's no benefit to killing Laura. Yes, the green gel's nice and you can recover, as I've shown you, most of the ammunition that you use, but aside from that, you might as well just move on. So now let's just witness another cutscene, and then we'll get ready for the next boss fight.
Doc, what the hell do you think you're doing?
Trying to save us.
Really? Because it looks like you're making another monster to me.
I don't have time for this, Detective.
Neither do I.
Leslie has been here before, and made it back. He survived being linked to Ruvik, the only patient ever as far as I know.
Wonderful. What does that have to do with any of this?
He's our way out, Detective. Our only way back.
That sound!
No, it's working. Oh, thank God it's working.
Leslie, are you all right?
It should have. Why didn't it? wants the same thing as us. He wants out!
Yeah, I really think Jimenez could have somehow dodged that, but I guess he died just as he figured out that Ruvik is trapped in here, just like pretty much everyone else. He just has some sort of control over everything that's going on since it is his brain. But we're going to witness another cutscene now.
Ruvik must be really pissed now. Breaking a STEM terminal? Never thought he'd go that far.
Wait, STEM?
Oh, he must be close if he's severing ties with the past. All he has left is his connection to the present. The full STEM in the hospital.
Hospital? Beacon Mental Hospital?
That's where he'll be. Waiting for him. If somebody doesn't get there first, there'll be no way out for anyone!
Okay, so let's pick up the last two collectibles in this chapter. There's another newspaper article and a missing person poster. There we go. And now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to save my game here just to be on the safe side. Actually, before I do that, I should really go pick up some shock bolts. So I opened one of the lockers that had the shock bolts in the previous chapter, so let's get those, even though I could honestly just craft them, but that way I just have them. And I'm just going to save my game here just to be on the safe side, because the next boss fight, it's a little bit troublesome because you have to be very fast in the way that you do things. If you haven't upgraded your sniper rifle and if you have some green gel to spare, then I recommend that you upgrade it. Most importantly, focus on upgrading the sniper rifle's fire rate, reload speed, capacity, and if you want to increase its damage multiplier as well. And if you do that, then you'll be good to go. And aside from that, all that you'll need for this next segment is you'll need a couple of freeze bolts, as well as at least one shock bolt. So let me pick up these matches here. A few more parts. We have quite a few parts to spare, and if you've been following my walkthrough, I imagine you have a few parts to spare as well. So I can just make a couple of freeze bolts. He can't grab you there, so don't worry. And we're just going to keep moving on ahead. And there's a little bit of green gel for us to pick up here. Have your shotgun ready, and then just step outside. There's a few shotgun shells standing right in front of me, but I already have the maximum amount of shotgun ammunition, so I'm not going to grab those. And here comes the boss, Amalgamum Alpha. What do you do when you see a giant monster running towards you? Obviously, if you're Sebastian, you just run against it. Yes, you might break a few ribs in the process, but it's the right thing to do. So the first thing that he's going to do here is pop out his big eye to try and find us. As the eye appears, shoot it once and that will stun him. And now we're going to destroy two of its heads right now with the sniper rifle. And now I'm going to use a freeze bolt to freeze him. There we go. And I'm going to destroy another one of its heads. Now you could hide underneath that car, that van that's right there. I wouldn't do it though, because there's a pretty high chance that Amalgamum Alpha will be able to spot you, and if he does, then you're going to die. So I've destroyed another one of its heads, it's standing right underneath it. Sometimes he might come to this side first, and that what you need to do then is just freeze him again and just shoot the bottom head. But after you destroy 4 of its heads, use a shock bolt here, and now we're going to focus our shots on its eye. You actually have to wait until it reveals the eye to deal maximum damage, but with the shock bolt we're good to go. There's the eye. It's stunned here, I gave it 2 shots. Okay, so now we can approach it and finish it off with 1 more bullet. There we go. As long as you hit the center, at that point it will die, and you gain a substantial amount of green gel for doing this. Like I said, guys, that's why I think it's important for you to save, because it might take you a couple of tries to get this method right. Not because Amalgamum Alpha behaves in a weird way or anything, it doesn't, but sometimes you might accidentally miss shooting one of its heads, and if you do, then the eye won't necessarily appear. So I can tell you for a fact that it will always try and find you with its eye first. So if you shoot it with the shotgun, it will stun him, and you'll probably be able to shoot both heads if you don't hesitate a lot. But aside from that, what I can recommend is essentially keep using the freeze bolts. Aside from the heads that I shot, he has another head on one of its sides, and that's the only extra head that it has. And after you destroy all of the heads, the eye will appear. Use the shock bolt to stun him, or again a freeze bolt if you want. And if you do that, then you'll have plenty of time to shoot the eye with a sniper rifle, and 2 shots directly to the eye will finish him off, or finish it off. But as you saw, one of my shots wasn't directly to the eye, but that was still enough to stun him, and that allowed me to get close enough and finish it off with my shotgun. So that works pretty well, and that concludes this chapter, my friends. I hope you found this segment useful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back with the next chapter soon. Take care.